In an unprecedented and jaw-dropping revelation, Rhea Ripley has finally broken her silence and pulled back the curtain on Vince McMahon. For years, rumors have swirled about the shocking secrets surrounding WWE's infamous mastermind, but nothing prepared the world for the explosive confession from Rhea herself. This isn't just another rumor. This is the kind of confession that could send shockwaves through WWE's legacy.
WWE. At top of today's news is a recent lawsuit filed against Vince McMahon. However, this lawsuit is also naming Vince's wife Linda, along with the WWE's parent company TKO Holdings, which own WWE. Now please note that this story contains disturbing information and it may trigger survivors of abuse, so you may want to skip to our third story. But let's look at the allegations and the response from Vince's attorney. USA Today is reporting that the 5 former WWE ring boys are suing Vince McMahon, Linda McMahon, and WWE, alleging negligence for allowing systematic and pervasive abuse of underage children. The complaint and demand for a jury trial was filed on behalf of 5 John Does in Baltimore County Circuit Court on Wednesday.
The world of wrestling and the fans who thought they'd seen it all. It's time the world knows the truth Rhea allegedly shared. Her words carrying the weight of countless experiences shrouded in secrecy and fear. As one of the most electrifying and fearless figures in WWE today, Ripley's voice carries incredible power, and the courage it took for her to step forward has already earned her immense respect. This bold move, coming from someone deeply embedded in the wrestling world, adds an intensity and gravity to her claims that simply can't be ignored. For years, Vince McMahon has been a polarizing figure, feared and respected in equal measure. He's crafted an empire around WWE, building it into one of the biggest sports entertainment industries in the world. But with power comes secrets, and Ripley's decision to come forward seems to be a reckoning Vince may never have anticipated. She's held back for so long, weathering the industry storms and rising as one of the fiercest competitors on the WWE stage. But now, in a moment of courage, Rhea has dared to step out from behind the ropes and speak her truth, pulling the audience into an unfolding story. Rhea's fans have rallied around her since she allegedly made these claims, flooding social media with messages of support and outrage. While wrestling fans worldwide are still reeling from the gravity of her words, the magnitude of this reveal doesn't just shake WWE, it casts an intense spotlight on the issues often lurking in the shadows of the industry, dragging into view an undercurrent of questionable power dynamics. In her alleged account, Rhea doesn't hold back. Shares instances where she felt vulnerable, intimidated, and exploited. If there's one thing we know about Rhea, it's that she's never been one to mince words or shy away from confrontation. But this time, her battle isn't against another competitor. It's against a seemingly untouchable figure in the WWE hierarchy. The tale of Vince McMahon has been anything but quiet. Behind his monumental success in WWE lies a history riddled with controversies and scandals. For decades, Vince has held an iron grip over the wrestling industry, building WWE from a regional business into a global phenomenon. But with that rise to power came whispers that turned into allegations.
It's next door neighbor to a dive, and that is the last fucking thing we want in mixed martial arts is fixed fights. Right. Which is weird because it's owned by the same people that own WWE now.
Right.
Which is kind of crazy.
They've had a good week. Yeah, it's a good week to be in the WWE.
Yo, dude, that Vince McMahon is wild. That boy's out there.
I read this. I couldn't get through the text messages. I started trying to read them, and I was like, I don't want to read. This is like poison.
But the thing is, when I see that dude with his shirt off, he's 80 years old, he's got a chain around his neck. What, are you shocking me with this information?
Yeah.
Don't you think it takes a lot to get that guy going?
No, it's you're saying he needed to send all those text messages to get aroused at that age?
I think he probably needs a lot just for stimulation. Listen, he's a billionaire.
Right.
He's been running pro wrestling for fucking decades. He's world famous CEO of this giant fucking multinational company, pro wrestling company. He's also in pro wrestling.
Right.
He gets out there and competes. He does it.
Yeah, I guess
or,
at a certain,
performs, I should say.
At a certain point, I guess, if you're that through the looking glass of reality, you become a heel in life. Life is heel and everything is a match.
Yeah, if you're going to be really successful at putting together pro wrestling, probably be pro wrestling all day long.
You got to stick with it.
Yeah.
Controversies and full-blown scandals. One of the earliest and most infamous scandals Vince McMahon faced was the steroid trial of the early 1990s, which left a lasting stain on WWE's reputation. The steroid trial was only the beginning of Vince's controversies. Over the years, accusations of inappropriate behavior and sexual misconduct began to surface. Vince's treatment of female talent has frequently come under scrutiny, with numerous allegations alleging that he created a hostile work environment for women. While Vince has repeatedly denied any wrongdoing, the allegations continued to grow, reflecting a corporate culture that has historically treated female talent as secondary. Adding fuel to the fire, in recent years, Vince has been implicated in workplace misconduct, scandals that have rocked WWE from within. Rumors and allegations of Vince's alleged mistreatment of staff and wrestlers surfaced, accusing him of being a tyrannical boss who demanded total obedience and loyalty. His alleged authoritarian management style created an atmosphere of fear, where talent and employees felt pressured to toe the line or risk losing their careers. Wrestlers have shared stories of arbitrary decisions, last-minute changes, and the emotional toll of working under someone as demanding as Vince. This intense pressure cooker environment has driven many high-profile stars to part ways with WWE, with some even revealing how they felt controlled, manipulated, or blacklisted. In the business world, Vince McMahon has been no stranger to controversy either. Over the years, he's made several business decisions that left fans, analysts, and investors puzzled. From entering risky financial ventures like the XFL, an attempt to create a professional football league that ultimately failed twice, to forming controversial partnerships. Questions arose about financial dealings within WWE, with reports suggesting that company funds were used to settle personal matters, including some alleged misconduct claims. The use of WWE's resources for private matters blurred the line between corporate integrity and personal gain, casting doubts over ethical practices within the company's leadership. Vince McMahon is notorious for pushing boundaries with WWE's scripted content, sometimes with disastrous results. Fans and critics alike have condemned certain WWE storylines. One of the most shocking examples involved Vince himself when he inserted himself into a storyline that alluded to a fake passing, sparking outrage among fans and critics.
Well done here, Vince.
Should we
I think we're done.
Should we steel man his position? Should we say he's an elderly gentleman involved in rigorous activities, and oftentimes they lose control of their bowels? Is the reason why depends is associated with old people.
Well, that's a
Listen,
fair...
if I was his lawyer, I would say Vince is a wonderful man who respects women, but he's got bad bowels.
Well, Jim, no, that's a great steel man, but I would just say respectfully, the part where he goes, I'm in a shower, you guys finish up, right there is where I break with the idea that he just lost control.
Well, he didn't want the party to be over just because he can't control his bowels. It seems very considerate of him. You guys finish up. I'm in a shower. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you get a shower.
I ruined the party.
You go get a 30-minute shower, Vince. I'll sit here with this chick.
Imagine having sex with someone who wants to shit on their hair while you're having sex.
No,
like,
it's a party foul,
you're
for sure.
Smelling this guy's shit, like literally where your face is.
But I'll finish up.
Oh.
Well, hey, miss, you want to just finish up? You with the...
That's so insane.
You with the Stone Cold Steamer that you got? Oh, maybe we'll just chat about nicknames.
There's nothing
for this
crazier
depraved act that you just did
than the depravity of shitting on people with feces. Okay, this is it.
In another infamous storyline, Vince allegedly forced wrestlers into roles that perpetuated stereotypes and exploited personal traumas, further fueling the controversy. These questionable choices reflect a pattern of behavior where Vince seemed willing to sacrifice decency and respect for ratings and shock value, drawing public criticism. Perhaps the most shocking scandal Vince has faced in recent memory is the investigation by WWE's board into alleged hush money payments made to silence claims of misconduct. Reports revealed Vince allegedly paid millions to women to keep accusations of inappropriate behavior under wraps, shaking the wrestling world and sparking discussions. The board's investigation uncovered potential misuse of WWE funds, raising concerns about Vince's control over resources and sparking discussions on accountability. While Vince eventually stepped down, the scandal left an indelible mark, with many questioning whether WWE could fully recover from such a seismic blow to its reputation. These scandals have impacted Vince McMahon's legacy and affected WWE talent and the wrestling industry as a whole, casting a shadow over WWE's ethical standards and culture. The negative publicity surrounding Vince's scandals has alienated fans, tarnished WWE's brand, and led to a growing exodus of talent who pursued careers in other promotions. Vince McMahon's scandals have undeniably shaken WWE to its core. Once an icon, these allegations and controversies have left many wondering about the industry's leadership. With Rhea Ripley's revelations now emerging, the wrestling community is left wondering if WWE can ever truly distance itself from the shadow of Vince McMahon's past. Rhea's decision to speak out reignites discussions around accountability, transparency, and the importance of protecting talent from powerful figures in wrestling. As the wrestling world processes these revelations, the question on everyone's mind remains: what happens next? The impact could reshape WWE, the wrestling industry, and McMahon's legacy. One of the most immediate consequences Vince McMahon could face is a renewed wave of legal action. If Rhea Ripley's allegations gain traction or spark further investigations, Vince might be confronted with lawsuits or even criminal charges. Legal experts suggest that, depending on the strength of the claim,
might be used as evidence to support Grant's argument. Vince's attorney responded to the suit with a statement which included this comment: "More than 30 years ago, the columnist Phil Muchnick tried to make headlines with these same false claims. Those allegations were never proven and ultimately became the subject of a defamation lawsuit against Mr. Muchnick." Inside the Ropes noted, Rosenberg added that the current claims are based on absurd, defamatory, and utterly meritless statements, and affirmed that McMahon will vigorously defend himself. There's no report of a reply from Linda McMahon or anyone representing her, but we will continue monitoring this story, and as we'll see next, a past story has resurfaced that casts new light on the allegations against Mel Phillips and whether the FBI had evidence supporting the victim's claims. So did the FBI know about the alleged misconduct? Another story that has come to light regarding the recent lawsuit. This too deals with alleged conduct that may be disturbing and or trigger survivors of abuse, so please skip to our next story if that is the case.
There could be further examinations into WWE's corporate practices, potentially leading to a federal investigation. If found culpable, McMahon could face a significant financial blow from settlements, or even risk jail time if evidence points to criminal behavior. Such a high-profile case would attract public scrutiny and could set a legal precedent for handling misconduct in the world of sports entertainment. The WWE Board of Directors may soon face a crisis of confidence, especially if shareholders demand a thorough re-evaluation of the company's leadership. The board is responsible for upholding WWE's values, and McMahon's alleged actions put those values in question. There could be demands for a restructuring, potentially involving a complete overhaul of WWE's executive team. Shareholders, with their financial investments on the line, are likely to demand assurances that a safe, respectful, and ethical workplace is being maintained. This could lead to Vince losing his last remaining influence over the company he built, as the board may seek to distance WWE from his tarnished legacy. WWE's image has been a carefully crafted blend of athleticism and entertainment. However, the brand's reputation has taken severe hits over the years. Rhea's alleged revelations might just be the tipping point. In today's world, where corporations face intense scrutiny over workplace practices, WWE's association with McMahon's alleged misdeeds could make it difficult to retain or attract major sponsorships. Companies, particularly those who emphasize social responsibility, may be hesitant to associate their brands with WWE until they see concrete actions taken to rectify these issues. Losing key sponsorships or partnerships could deal a financial blow to WWE, potentially affecting their ability to produce high-budget shows or attract new talent. If the damage to WWE's reputation proves irreparable, it may open the door for competitors like AEW to step into the spotlight.
With Vince McMahon, dude, I'll ask, does anybody know, like people that know, like what he did?
Right.
Or what it's claimed that he did? It only came out because he didn't want to pay her the full money. If he were paid $3 million to do all horrific things and you're like, yeah, I'll do that, then I'd be like, well, that's not assault. But this fucker didn't want to pay because he has a history of fucking people on shit. And all he had to do was pay what he agreed to, and she's a disgruntled employee, and good for her because that guy shit on her head. They're having a they don't say what position, I don't think. I hope it's Eiffel Tower and not a blowjob he did this during. 2-on-1 with, I'm guessing, Johnny Leonidas, I don't know, another executive. So they're both having sex with this girl. This man gets up, shits on her head, and then he goes, I'm gonna go get, you guys finish up, I'm gonna get a shower. This is what's written in the legal. They say he defecates. Okay? Yeah, we'll finish up, Vin. I think we're...
With a clean slate and a focus on promoting a healthier workplace culture, AEW could attract disillusioned fans and even some WWE wrestlers looking for a fresh start. This shift could change the landscape of professional wrestling, potentially signaling the beginning of a new era where WWE is no longer the uncontested leader of the industry. The allegations have also put the spotlight on how WWE has historically treated its talent, potentially leading wrestlers to reevaluate their contracts and affiliations with WWE. Wrestlers who feel disillusioned by the recent allegations might decide to leave WWE for good, opting for promotions where they feel respected and valued. Wrestlers, especially those who have experienced or witnessed similar issues within WWE, may find it difficult to continue working under a company tied to such accusations. A talent exodus could be a substantial blow to WWE, which relies heavily on its charismatic stars to keep fans engaged. Without a roster filled with top-tier talent, WWE could struggle to draw crowds. Such a scenario would affect the company's bottom line, but it could also have long-term effects on WWE's ability to recover from the damage done by these allegations. As the details of these allegations continue to emerge, there's a strong likelihood that public outcry will intensify. Fans, advocates for worker rights, and social justice groups may rally against WWE. Social media campaigns and petitions might call for WWE to take drastic actions, such as removing Vince McMahon entirely from any role within the company. The momentum behind these campaigns could lead to public boycotts, with fans choosing to stop supporting WWE financially until they see tangible changes. In today's connected world, where online communities can mobilize quickly, boycotts can have real consequences. If WWE experiences a significant loss in ticket sales, pay-per-view buys, or streaming subscriptions, they might be forced to accelerate reforms and demonstrate a commitment to change. We's response or lack thereof could determine whether it retains or loses a significant portion of its fanbase. The ripple effect from these allegations could lead to broader scrutiny of the sports entertainment industry as a whole. Lawmakers, labor unions, and advocacy groups may begin lobbying for stronger protections and regulations.
Oh my
One example
God.
of McMahon's extreme depravity. May 9, 2020, he defecated on Miss Grant during a threesome and then commanded her to continue pleasuring his friend with feces in her hair and running down her back while McMahon went to the bathroom.
Wait,
to
I didn't see
shower
this
off.
part. Wait, I didn't see this part. Upon his return from the bathroom, McMahon and his friend actively resumed the three. She didn't get in and hose off? You showered and went back and started. The girl whose head and back you shit on.
Whoa.
Why
So-
get a shower?
Oh my God, so she didn't shower?
He got
Oh
showered
my
and she
God.
stayed
Oh my God.
with
I
Bob
like how they
Saget's closer on
I
her
also
head.
like how they just described it as his filth. His filth. I mean, is that like, is this like a legal document? Is that a legal term? Like his filth?
He gave her a Polish car wash and he goes and cleans himself.
What the fuck, man?
Particularly for athletes and performers in physically demanding industries like wrestling. Vince McMahon's alleged actions could serve as a catalyst for legislative changes, possibly resulting in new standards for conduct, stricter protections against workplace abuse, and better systems for athletes to report grievances. This increased scrutiny may extend beyond WWE, affecting other wrestling promotions and entertainment companies. Should these allegations result in regulatory changes, WWE and similar companies may be required to adopt more rigorous practices to ensure the safety and well-being of their employees. For decades, Vince McMahon's name has been synonymous with the evolution of modern professional wrestling. From pioneering wrestling on cable television to creating pay-per-view juggernauts like WrestleMania, his impact on the industry is undeniable. However, this legacy now hangs in the balance, as these allegations may forever alter how history remembers him. Vince's contributions to wrestling will likely always be acknowledged, but this chapter of scandal and alleged misconduct could overshadow his achievements. As fans and historians look back on Vince's career, the legacy of WWE and the McMahon family may be seen through the lens of these allegations. The ongoing fallout from this scandal could prompt the wrestling world to confront its past, recognizing both the achievements and the darker sides of its history. Wrestlers, fans, and WWE's own employees will be left to grapple with the complex legacy Vince leaves behind. A legacy defined by his accomplishments and the painful stories that emerged. While the future seems uncertain, there is a small chance that Vince McMahon could attempt a path of redemption. If he chooses to publicly acknowledge the allegations, if he issues apologies and takes full responsibility, it could soften public opinion and perhaps even pave the way for him to contribute to a safer WWE in a different capacity. This road would require unprecedented humility, transparency, and accountability, qualities McMahon has rarely displayed. However, if he manages to address these issues sincerely, he might salvage part of his legacy, and even play a role in improving WWE's culture for future generations. If you love WWE as much as we do, hit that subscribe button and join our community of die-hard wrestling fans